So with just a few hours remaining then before the Game Week 14 deadline, this is my team heading into that game week. This is an updated video with now 2 transfers being made instead of the rolling of the transfers, which I was going to originally do. So if you do like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. With all that being said, let's show you this updated team. So as always then, let's start in goal, and it's David Raya with Brentford at home. Pretty comfortable with that one. Good clean sheet potential. Nothing's going to change there. Dubravka on the bench against Crystal Palace. Virgil van Dijk is my first defender in the starting lineup with Sunderland at home. Quite a bit of a difficult fixture for Liverpool this week compared to the West Ham game. I think Sunderland will put up a stiffer test even with it being at Anfield. Do I think the clean sheet's there? Potentially, but I do have a feeling Sunderland will score in this. But with Virgil van Dijk in your team, you can't bet against him really. He's the sort of defender you bring in to start in every week, and at the end of the day, it's an easier fixture for Liverpool, and you've got to be expecting a clean sheet and even potentially some attacking returns from Virgil van Dijk. We can all hope. Chris Richards then, Burnley away, nice fixture for them in Crystal Palace. Hopefully they can get back up and running after the defeat to Manchester United. It's a decent fixture. Burnley have potential of scoring, but fingers will be crossed there. Then I move on to the real changes in the defence then. I have decided to take out Marco Senesi. As much as I really wanted to keep him, the more I looked at his fixtures immediately after he returns from suspension this week, they're not great. They're not fantastic. You know, I think it was Chelsea and Manchester United up next for him. Chelsea will be at home, Manchester United away. You know, they're not ideal. So I always wanted to bring in Nico O'Reilly. I had him on my free hit last week. So I've bit the bullet and I've gone for it. I've made that transfer. But then obviously that posed a problem because Senesi wasn't in my starting lineup and Reece James was originally. And the more I think about it, I've been stung by Reece James a couple of weeks ago for 2 weeks in a run, either side of the international break, a bench in and an early substitution. I can just see this Leeds game being an early sub again for him, or potentially not even a start. I could easily see him being benched. To avoid that, I put Nico O'Reilly in, who could easily be benched himself. This is a Pep Guardiola team. But I'm happy to back the starts Nico O'Reilly has been getting as of late. It is 9 starts in 10 games. I'm confident to go with that. Yeah, even though I don't sound it, I'm probably more confident in Nico O'Reilly's minutes than Reece James's. Joe Rodon is firmly last on the bench. So let's move into this midfield then, and Bukayo Saka is up first with that Brentford fixture. Reasonably happy with him. Hopefully he can spark a few more attacking returns. He probably hasn't been at the levels he'd hoped he'd be at himself probably. A few more attacking returns in terms of goals and assists would be nice. He did get an assist in the last game, but I didn't have him in my team anyway because of that free hit. Then moving on, Yankuba Minter is a decent, solid option, I think, even against Aston Villa. Turns out the clean sheet was taken away from him last week. I thought I missed out on that through the free hit, so I was quite glad that got taken away from him. But this week, I'll be cheering him on, hoping he can get some sort of assist. Even a goal would be nice, even from Yankuba Minter against Aston Villa. Very happy to keep Antoine Semenyo in the team as well. A lot have sold him, but I think Everton at home represents a great chance for him to get back on the score sheet and basically finish that run of blanks he is on. I think he was unlucky not to come away with something against Sunderland, so hopefully he can against Everton this week. Then the next transfer I'm going to be making is Caicedo out. He is banned for 3 games, so he was somebody that I think the majority have to take out. He's not somebody we're going to look to hold on our bench through those 3 game weeks. It is a long time to hold a player while they're suspended. So I brought in Anderson. I wanted to bring in somebody cheap because there was no midfielder. I couldn't afford any of these semi-premium options, so you're talking like the 8 millions, like the Phil Fodens, Bruno Fernandes, Brian Mbeumo. So I went with Anderson at Nottingham Forest for now because I can start him this week. He's just ticked along very nicely, and the last 3 games, 9 points, 9 points, 6 points. we'll see if that can continue against Wolves. Now I brought him in, probably won't, but I do like this fixture, and I do like the way he goes about his business. He just ticks along very nicely, so I'm happy to buy into that this week. Iliman Ndiaye then drops to the bench. That was a hard choice to make, especially benching somebody who was potentially on penalties. I think I was probably put off a little bit by the performance against Newcastle. Everton didn't seem all that, and Iliman Ndiaye hasn't quite been at it in the same way in this game. I know the Manchester United game was a tough game with them going down to 10 men, but no real attacking returns in those two, so I might just bet against him this week with a Bournemouth team who have obviously been very good form this season, and I think they'll pose a bit of a threat to Everton when they go down there. So finishing up this attacking line then, I've held off the temptation at the moment to bring in Thiago. It's something I've wanted to do, certainly to raise more funds and then maybe afford one of those midfielders, a bit more premium midfielders that I was looking at. But it's certainly not the week to be doing it. We all know Thiago plays Arsenal away this week. You never know, he could get a goal, but I'm much happier with this attacking line going into this week with Tottenham for Newcastle. Voltemade, that makes him a really good option to me. He scored against Everton, and I don't think there's any reason he can't continue that. I do think Newcastle will put Tottenham to the sword in that game, and there is a lot of potential for Voltemade in that game. Very happy with him. Happy enough for me to vice captain him as well. Erling Haaland, I'm happy to keep the captaincy on him. Fulham away, Fulham have been very up and down this season, but I'm going to back Erling Haaland to get back to scoring ways, and because there's no real standout option. There's the potential, like I've said in the previous video, for Mateta in that Burnley game, but I don't know if I really back him and his minutes at the moment as well. There's always that potential for an early sub as of late, but although with the Ismail Assar injury, Nketiah might be brought on to play alongside Mateta rather than replacing him going forward. But yeah, Mateta as an option, not as captain, is fantastic though. Burnley away, I'll be hoping he can get something. Maybe I hope he doesn't outscore Haaland, because then I will probably be shooting myself in the foot talking about him right now. But otherwise, all in all, really happy with that team. I also wanted to make those two changes simply because we got that sort of 5 transfers being injected into our teams at the end this weekend, after this weekend, I believe, into game week 16. So I wanted to make sure I use up all these transfers. I'll have one more going into this weekend, which may be somebody like Reece James. Get him, as he feels like a bit of a problem, get him out this weekend, and then I can bring in Thiago with one of those 5 free transfers thereafter. So quickly then, just to summarise those transfers, it is Marco Senesi going out with Nico O'Reilly coming in. Moises Caicedo will be leaving the team, and Elliot Anderson will be coming in. That's 2 suspended players leaving the team for 2 players who have good potential in this game week and beyond. So I've just about found time to get this video out just before the deadline, and this is now my updated team and the team I will be going with. There was a lot of deliberation with bench and headaches and those transfers, which I have finally decided to make. Good luck going into game week 14. Obviously this quick turnaround, there will be another quick turnaround then going into game week 15, so look out for the next video coming up in the next couple of days. That'll probably be released while this game week's still active, as 3 game weeks in 7 days is pretty intense, but I'd look to get those videos out for you guys. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell so you don't miss them, and I will see you in the next video.